Is Jinu evil in K-pop Demon Hunters? It's actually a harder question to answer than you might think. First, let's examine Jinu's past. Basically, he sold out his family. Jinu, his mother and sister were extremely poor, and Jinu's busking wasn't getting them enough money. When he was at his lowest, Guima offered Jinu a deal. He gets to live out a good life, but he will have to leave his family behind. This leads to Jinu becoming a demon under Guima's control. There's a reason why Guima offered this specific deal. Just making a deal with Guima doesn't turn you into a demon. It's the shame that you feel afterwards. So, Guima offered Jinu a deal that would bring him the most shame. That means that Jinu really did care about his family. However, when he was at his lowest, he did sell them out. So, what does this tell us? It tells us that Jinu is a flawed human being, which is not a lot of information. I know that there is a theory going around that Guima manipulated Jinu's memories, but nah, don't take away Jinu's accountability. He messed up and is now suffering the consequences. The most Guima could have done is exaggerate his memories a bit, just like our own minds tend to exaggerate events, but that's it. So, just because Jinu feels guilty doesn't mean that he is a good person. If it was an honest mistake, then he should have learned from it and not repeat it in the future. So, what does Jinu do? He repeats it in the future. Jinu, buddy, you're making it hard to defend you. In the present, he once again acts selfishly. In the past, he wanted money and recognition and abandoned his family to achieve this. In the present, he wants to erase his memories and lets innocent bystanders get killed to achieve this. Both times, he wants something selfish, and both times, innocent people get hurt because of this. Can we talk about how high the kill count in K-pop Demon Hunters is? I assumed that getting your soul sucked out would put people in a coma, and they would reawaken when Huntrix defeated Guima. But no! It appears that all of those people are permanently gone. The old man who sang Soda Pop, dead. The Jinu shipper, dead. Everyone on the train, dead. There's a chance that even the little girl who said that Jinu has a beautiful soul is dead. Can you imagine if instead of disappearing, we actually saw the bodies? How would that train look? It would be gruesome. And it's all Jinu's fault. All for his selfish goal. When he is on game shows, when he is signing autographs, when he hangs out with Rumi, even when he starts to learn to forgive himself, during all of this, people are dying because of him. I would call him evil if the movie actually acknowledged this. But it looks like no one in the movie cares about the dying people. Rumi never brings it up to Jinu. She could have pointed out that Jinu is repeating his past actions, but she never does. When Huntrix see how many people died on the train, they seem a little bummed out, but nothing more. If the movie ignores the mass murder, should we? I'm gonna ignore that question for a moment and move on. Later, Jinu promises to help Rumi. However, after Guima threatens him, he betrays her. Yet again, we see Jinu being selfish. And this behavior is perfect for Guima. If this would have been the end, then, after erasing Jinu's memories of his family, Jinu would still feel shame. Shame that he betrayed Rumi. Jinu wouldn't have been free from Guima's control. Up until this point, Jinu is acting exactly how Guima wants him to act. Nothing has changed over those 400 years. He doesn't do it out of malice. He understands that his actions are wrong, but he still continues to act this way. Now let's talk about his sacrifice. This is the only selfless act he makes throughout the entire movie. At that point, he has already won. At least, he thinks so. We know that his torment wouldn't have ended, but I digress. He could have done nothing, sacrificed the people around him and enjoyed the reward, just like he always does. But this time, his decision is different. He sacrifices himself to protect the person he cares about. Now, the question is, does this action make up for his wrongdoings? If we are only talking about his past and when he betrays Rumi, then yeah, everything wraps up with a nice little bow. Jinu corrects his mistakes and proves that he is a good person. However, there is a massive elephant in the room. The mass murder he is responsible for. Like, You'd assume there would be some acknowledgement of that, but no! I don't know how to feel about that fact. It bugs me greatly. Are we to assume that only the people close to you are important and everyone else doesn't matter? That sounds deeply wrong. Everyone in universe and in real life act like this when it comes to Jinu.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
Like, I understand. Jinu is funny, charismatic, good-looking, goofy, has a sad backstory that haunts him, grows to genuinely care about Rumi, and did I mention he is hot? Well, he is. But all of that doesn't excuse the murders. Just because you're going on a self-healing journey doesn't make it okay to hurt others. I don't ask for much, but at least some sort of acknowledgement would have been appreciated. So, is Gino evil or is he good? Well, he remains a flawed human being. If we ignore all of that, just like characters in the movie ignore it, then he does have a satisfying redemption. However, if we don't ignore that, then I don't know. It feels like this movie was supposed to be longer with more scenes. Anyways, that's all I have for today. You know the drill. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!